Hey everybody, Chris Stokes from Custom Fitness Personal Training Studio. And today we're talking about what makes an effective nutrition plan. I mean, this is really what a lot of people are digging down for. They're researching online. Most of the time it takes them to, first off, Google and then Facebook and then friends and family. But so often we're just taking the word of others and hearing that, okay, well, this worked for you and this is what you've read about, so maybe that works. And the thing is, we've got to understand that nutrition has certain foundations. There are truths about nutrition that we all need to understand, at least to a degree, to where we understand how the body's working, what it's needing. So often we get into these nutrition plans that really are more of a crash diet. They're taking out macronutrients, or they're really stripping you of the precious nutrients that your body needs and just focusing just on calories. You can lose a lot of weight. I'm not saying that you can't. And I know there's a lot of people out there that really at least in the front of their mind, they don't think that there's anything else that they need. They see that they need weight loss, and they are so frustrated about it that they are desperate to do anything that will cause them to lose weight. And what honestly typically happens is that causes a lack of health. It causes some chronic health issues that can stay with you for the rest of your life. And that sounds like I might be being a little over dramatic, but it's true. Every now and then I get people that just are the worst case scenario because they've been on so many crash diets. They have torn their body up, and really honestly, we have to get medical help in order to get their balance back and get them back into somewhat of a level of health. Oftentimes you've done such damage to yourself that it's not possible to regain that health to heightened levels. You know, you can get back to a certain place, but it's very hard to get beyond that. Obviously each person's a different case, and I by no means mean to be a negative Nelly about it or anything like that. I just want to bring to the forefront the idea that there is a certain foundation of nutrition that our body expects, that our body needs, and that our body thrives on. So in order to get an effective nutrition plan, we really have to have 5 things. We have to have, number one, balance. We have to make sure that we're getting the right amount of things, nutrients, your phytochemicals, your macronutrients, your micronutrients. I mean, I'm talking everything, right? So when I say nutrients, I mean all of it. So you're getting the right amount of those things, and you're limiting the things that could have a negative effect on your health. So anything, I mean, you already know what they are, right? The sugars, the alcohols, all that kind of stuff. You're limiting that because it could have a negative effect on your health. That's all I said. All right, so number 2 is your calorie control. Now, this is not just reducing calories, because we all know that if we reduce calories, we're going to lose weight, right? But we also know, hopefully, that if we reduce calories too much, our body will suffer, and our health will suffer, our hormones will suffer, everything will suffer. I've got people that I've met with in the past that had reduced their calories so much that they actually have brittle teeth now. Their teeth were chipping. They couldn't figure out what the problem was, but they also weren't ready to eat more either. So we've got to understand that the body gives and takes, and we've got to have certain things going on. So instead of just thinking about reducing calories, it's more about making sure that you have the right amount of calories throughout the day to keep your system working effectively. So let's think about this like your gas tank in your car, only pretend like your gas tank is the size of a walnut. So let's say that you had 50 errands to run in the day, excuse me, and you had a walnut-sized gas tank. So you would have to fill that up frequently throughout the day, right? You couldn't just fill it up in the morning and call it good. You probably couldn't wake up in the morning after driving yesterday and have it drive you anywhere. So we have to fill it up frequently throughout the day, and we've got to make sure that it gets the right kind of fuel, right? Makes sense when you think of it that way, but for some reason where we think of our bodies, we don't think of it that way. At that point, then our bodies are like, we need this, and our brains say, we can deal without that. You'll be fine. I need to lose weight. So as we go through this, we got to understand that the body is physically craving these things because we need the energy. We're not talking about excess calories at this point. We need energy from the nutrition of our foods to be able to perform daily functions. That's playing with your kids. That's being able to read on your iPhone or your Android device. Being able to do your homework, being able to go to work and focus. These things take energy, and every bit of energy comes from your food. All right, so we've got balance and calorie control. What about moderation, right? That's number 3. So moderation, we don't take in an excess amount of those things that could have a negative impact on your health. So the stuff that we talked about earlier, we don't take in an excess amount of that, but we also don't cut them out completely. So it's not gone forever. It's not something that you can never eat again. It's something that you might work into your nutrition plan every now and then, or you might just have a surprise one day and end up having some birthday cake. That's fine. You may not feel well afterwards if you haven't had it in a while, and that could be just your body's signal of saying, yeah, I really don't need this. It was great at one point, but I really don't need it. And that's fine. But again, it's not that you can't have it, it's that we work on that moderation. All right, so number 4 is variety. So not only do we eliminate the monotony of a diet that can really be hard to maintain for long term, but also by including a variety of foods with flavors and textures in your diet, you actually ensure proper nutrition. You're going to get different vitamins, different macronutrients, different micronutrients from each different food that you take in. So not every food has the same properties to it, right? So the vitamin C that's in your orange is not the same as in your apple, right? We've got to make sure that we've got a variety of foods. So whenever I talk to people about eating healthy, about losing body fat, about gaining muscle, their first instinct, no matter what I say, is, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to eat chicken and salad for the rest of my life, and it's going to have to be bland. Well, the truth is, my people eat a lot of stuff that's not chicken and salad, and they still get great results. Why? Because they're fueling their bodies. They're actually fueling their bodies from the inside out. So we focus on health from the inside out. We don't come in and attack weight loss. We attack health and try to get the body systems working together to do what they're supposed to do, because that in turn will lead to your fat loss, your weight loss, into your inflammation loss, into your muscle build. It's going to help your body to be where it needs to be. All right, number 5, adequacy. Making sure that we get all the essential nutrients that we need to maintain our health, and then replacing what is lost on a daily or weekly basis. A lot of short-term diet strategies really recommend cutting out or drastically reducing like entire food groups, and that leaves a lot of room for nutritional deficiencies. Things that you may not even notice are happening for the next 5 or 10 years, but all of a sudden it'll creep up and you start to notice problems of things that could have been prevented, but you're just not quite sure what happened in the first place. So we want to make sure that that we're really getting the adequacy of what we're eating, that we're making sure that if our body burns off something, that we replace it. So that's where a lot of times we talk about carbs, and people get really scared of eating carbs and things like that. Well, if you've exercised that day and worked out really hard and you don't put carbs into your day, now remember that vegetables are a type of carb. So if you're not putting some form of carb back in your body cannot go. It's missing a macronutrient. It's a macronutrient for a reason. It's something that your body absolutely has to have. We have to have proteins, we have to have fats, we have to have carbs. And what combination of those we get typically is determined by our body type, by our metabolism levels, things like that. So those are all things to kind of keep in mind. The very best meal planning is going to focus on these 5 guidelines. It doesn't matter what your plan is called. It doesn't matter which side of the fence it came from, who suggested it. The best meal planning is going to focus on these 5 things, and it's going to be a rock solid foundation. I mean, there's just no other option. If you have those 5 things together, you're going to have everything you need. So even if, say, our clients who come to Custom Fitness stray from their nutrition, it's the holidays, right? So they might be going out to some parties or things like that. And even if they tend to stray from their nutrition, maybe they go to a party and they overdo it. I can tell you that through these foundations that they've learned, more often than not, they're not only going to get back on track quicker, but they actually won't fall as far off track in the first place, because they're going to figure out what their body needs and what feels best whenever they do. So if they're missing some water, they're going to be thirsty. If they're missing some vegetables, they're going to be hungry and craving those vegetables. Maybe not everybody, don't laugh at me, but you know, it builds these habits in you to build these foundations, and that leads to these behavioral changes that make long-term change within the body possible. So it's time for us to really focus on a more sustainable and science-backed nutrition plan instead of these short-term diets that you know aren't going to work. So if that's you, if you've been following these plans that you just feel like you're bouncing back and forth and you lose weight and you gain weight and you're on 6 weeks and then you're off for 2 months, it's not the right plan for you. We've got to find something that works on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, every year after year. And I know that sounds boring, because as Americans, we don't want to stick with anything for longer than 30 seconds. But If you've actually watched this all the way through, we're almost at 10 minutes, so congratulations. So it's just a matter of sticking with what you know works, and what we know works is the science of the foundations of nutrition. We know what the body needs, and if we give it to it on a regular basis, you will be astounded with the results that you can get. So if you are someone who has bounced back and forth like crazy, doesn't know which way to turn on nutrition, doesn't know really even where to get started or what to do, we would love to help you out. Feel free to give us a call, 806-322-3188. What we've got going on right now might just be the answer for you, and it's definitely the answer for a family here in Amarillo. We are doing our Secret Santa project, and that's where we have chosen through prayer a family that's local to Amarillo that is in need of help. They have 2 kids, no car. They do all have jobs, but they can't work every day because they don't have transportation every day. So in order to get to work, they've either got to wait for someone else to be able to take them or pick them up, or be able to have good enough weather that they can walk to where they need to be. We would love to help this family out, and it's been laid on our heart to have this family as our Secret Santa project this year. So what we're doing is, if you want to get in with us, and you're kind of thinking this might sound like something for me, then if you donate $50 to this family, the whole $50 goes to them. I'm not going to keep any of it. If you donate $50 to that family, I'm going to give you a 30-day membership with us. That is exercise, that is nutrition, that is lifestyle modification, that is accountability, that is world-class coaching, all coming from our team for the $50 that you just donated to help a family in need. So it really doesn't get much better than that. As I said, I won't be keeping that money. I'll be giving it straight to the family, and at the end of December, we'll be doing that. So this promo is going from right now all the way through December 31st. I would love to be able to get you in on this, because I want to help you to get healthier, and I want to help this family to do amazing things and just to know how much they are blessed. So if that's the right answer for you, give us a call, message me, get a hold of me somehow, and I will get you taken care of. If it's not the right message for you, but you have a friend that's in need, feel free to send this over to them. Hope you have a great day. Maybe you'll learn something new, but go and work on those nutritional foundations.